Right. Hi, NISOA family. We are here today with Diana Esquivel. She is here to share a little bit of her story, and we are celebrating her election to be the region representative vice chairperson. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us today. We're excited to hear a little bit of your journey and advice that you have for the rest of the NISOA membership.
Great. Great.
So, can you share a little bit of how your officiating journey began and kind of the events that have led you to where you are today?
Well, as a player, I started playing after I got out of high school because we didn't have soccer in high school at that time. So we started playing in the women's league here in San Antonio. And one of the things that I noticed, as well as other players, is that a lot of times the referees were a little more lenient with us as female players, and then it sometimes got very frustrating because a foul is a foul regardless, and they just felt that we really didn't mean it, but we did. Okay, so from there, I started refereeing in U.S. soccer, and then of course high school, and then eventually asked the gentleman that was in charge of the college referees here, the chapter, which was very small at the time, about 15 referees. And I just asked him one day, I said, "You don't have any women in the program?" And he said, "Well, I'm not sure." He didn't say they weren't ready for us, but he kind of implied that. Nonetheless, he sent us to a tournament in Houston, and Dick Trish assigned, there were 5 of us trying to get into college. So he did assign us, and there were some great games, all college teams. And from there, it's history. We started officiating in the college chapter. And then going from there to injuries, I started working as an administrator and an instruction and assessing. So I've been doing assessing since then, and it's been quite a while. But with USSF, I got some good opportunities, and since then have continued into the college chapter.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that's quite the journey, and we're super glad that you didn't take the implied no for an answer. um, have you enjoyed the transition to instruction and assessing?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that we do here in our chapter is that we have been able to bring in a lot of younger referees. They're all, either doing high school and U.S. soccer, and then getting into college. We've seen the differences in the game itself with the players. They're faster, they're stronger, they train harder. They're just, they're tough to deal with sometimes. And we have certain venues here that the coaches are also very tough. So we put them through physical fitness training. And of course, with COVID, it's been very difficult. But normally they'll start training in like mid-May until the season starts in August with scrimmages, and then finally into the regular season. So hopefully we'll get back to that soon. But it takes constant working with officials. We have to have perseverance ourselves, and also with the officials, to have them continuously do games. ask for information. Don't hesitate, because it's important. And we've seen some very good results. We have 3 FIFA referees in Texas South, so I know them all very well. And we've had other nationals as well. And one of the gentlemen that just was recognized is Elton Garcia, who lives in San Antonio as well. So it's a constant journey, not only for them, but for the administrators as well.
Yeah, the officials absolutely benefit from the work that you guys are putting in, and we couldn't do it without you, right? Your knowledge and your experience, and as you said, your perseverance, because learning is not always a straight path for officials. Your perseverance to help everybody get better is super important to everybody who's aspiring to the highest level. So thank you.
Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
Do you have any stories that you want to share with us from your first year or your early years as a NISOA official?
Oh, yes, I have quite a few, but I'll give you one example. We were working a small tournament, and I was just going to be AR in that particular tournament. Well, it turned out that one of the officials, or a couple of them, did not show. So I was told, you are going to do the next middle. And I wasn't really prepared for it. I really felt that I was terrible in the game, but I learned from it. And it took me a couple of weeks before I could say to myself, okay, let's go back. Let's think about what happened. Let's go over the situations and let's get better. And I've never forgotten that whole experience. And that's been quite a ways back. So, but then, there's the good ones, great games, good officials. So that comes back easily too.
Yeah. I think what you mentioned, opportunity, you never know when it's coming, right? And so as you said, you might not feel 100% ready for it, but no matter what, you can always take a couple days, take a step back, and then go and learn from the opportunity that you had, right? And
Exactly.
even if it didn't go as planned, if you're able to make those adjustments, then it was worth it.
Yes, it was.
That's exciting. So that was from your early years. What's one or more, if you want to share more, unforgettable moments from your time in the collegiate game?
Well, not so much as for myself, but in watching some of our officials go from beginners and then watching them in a game that is a really tough game. A D2 match, men's, very competitive, lots of contact, and watching that official do not 100%, but pretty close, being there, managing, doing what they need to do, letting them play when necessary. And that's when you go, wow, this is what I've been looking for in this official. And so a lot of them have been able to do that. And not everybody's going to get to the highest level, but they're going to be good officials. And that's what we want. We want them to be good officials, know the game, feel the passion of the game. Because without that, they won't become a good official. That's one of the things I've always said. You've got to feel the game. You have to love the game. I can remember watching any game, anytime, any level, and just enjoying it. So I think that's the most important for any of the officials as they get along through the seasons. It's not easy, as you well know.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely have to love it, right? That's why we're all out there.
Yes.
So, how did you decide to run for region rep vice chair? Did someone talk to you? Did you just say, "Hey, I'm going to go for it"? Talk us through that?
Well, I had been thinking about it once it came up, and I've been in NISOA for quite a while. I've been a regional rep for 10 years. And when the opportunity came up, I was actually nominated, but I had thought about it, and we finalized some of how the procedure for chairman and vice chair are done now. And so it makes it a lot easier, but I think that it's also a learning opportunity for me to sit with the board, and some of them I know well, some of them I've just met, but nonetheless we all have the same focus, and that's to improve the game and improve the officials. So being at that level and then bringing it back to the chapters is what's important. So,
Well, we're excited for you.
thank you.
What's the one thing, or what are the couple of things that you're most passionate about with this position?
I think it's just being able to give information to the chapters, to have them continue to work with their officials, find the diamond in the rough, so to speak, find the the kids, or the ones that, even if they're not kids, that just want to be good officials, and be able to give them all the information that NISOA has been providing and is continuing to provide. I was very impressed with this last year, the fireside chats, the different Trent doing the physical fitness. All of that is just so important. A lot of us are not we're not trained as much as some of you younger ones that are use the computer and use everything to your advantage. So for somebody like myself to go back and say, okay, I can go back and look at this situation or this training, and then make sure that we're making all of the chapters aware in our regions that they can go back and do this, and they can ask for help if necessary, is very critical, because you never stop learning. And if somebody thinks that they know it all, well, good luck, because different situations will occur in a game, and I've seen many, and how they were handled or not handled as well, and so you learn from it, and I learned from it as well. So I think they need to continue to ask for information, and that we can provide it.
Yeah, thank you. So you've touched on a lot of super valuable stuff, but if you had to pick one piece of advice for the NISOA membership, what would it be?
Wow. Oh boy, that's a tough one, because there's so many avenues to follow. Um, I would guess that just if you're not getting, if you're not sure about something, you need to ask. There's always going to be mentors. There's always going to be somebody that's going to take you aside and say, "Look, let's discuss this," or what's happening that you're not understanding. Um, Aside from knowing the rules, that's critical. But I think that with what I'm looking at for future, there isn't anybody that shouldn't be able to get the information they need to become a better official.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Diana. We really appreciate you sharing your story and all of your advice, and we're really excited to have you in this position. Any parting words?
No, just uh, no, I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it, and talking to more people and just helping out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, NISOA family. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Good night.